How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 7th of June 2021. I hope everyone's having an awesome day. Getting some beautiful weather here in the UK, so I'm pretty sure everybody's spirits are high. Because the weather always makes, when the sun is shining, things are always just better, really. Let's just be frank. But I wanted to do a quick rundown on Bitcoin. I've been getting a lot of questions, and obviously I'm a bit of a weird thing to say now, but I'm scaring a lot of people, who are holding Bitcoin, and they're like, "What do you mean it's going down to 28,000 or between 30 and 28,000?" I want to explain myself, and I'm going to try really hard to just kind of go through the mechanics of what's going on in my head, and just in a nutshell, try to sort of cram everything into a quick sort of 10-minute video that I've learned in the last sort of 25 years, right? Now, when I say I've been trading for 25 years, okay, I want to make a distinction very, very quickly before I continue with the analysis, and that is, I didn't just jump into trading and then that was it. I was just making money, When I say I've been trading for 25 years, and it's a culmination of all of that experience over the 25 years that allows me to look at the charts the way that I do, everything, it's all part of the entire 25 years. Because if I didn't lose money right at the beginning, then I wouldn't have adjusted, and if I didn't adjust, then I wouldn't have changed, and if I didn't change, then I wouldn't have started making money. It's a complete progression and a full journey to get to this point. So, when I'm asked a question, somebody asked me a question today specifically about CHSB, why $1.97? To arrive at $1.97 requires you to be able to understand, this area down here and what was happening. It's not just enough to just say, okay, well, price was at this specific level, and it just broke out. What was happening here? How much was accumulated? How do we tell that price is accumulating to go long? As it starts to move, the way price is moving gives me an indication as to how much of that is being dealt off or offloaded. So if you, again, I use the analogy of scales a lot. If the scales are heavily tipped towards buy, okay, and then those buys are slowly sold on the way up, do they still hold some of those buys? Are they accumulating sells now? Is it objective fulfillment, meaning are we going to get a shift in flow now and it's going to start to come to the downside because the buying's finished and now the sellers have stepped in, and so on? There's a lot of variables. So when some weirdo like me comes along and says, well, 197, you know what I mean? It's weird. I mean, let's just be frank, it's bizarre, right? It's like, what do you mean 197? It's like price hasn't even gone there ever. So why are you saying that price is going to go? Why are you saying that price is going to go to 197? It's a culmination of everything, and the math does not lie. Okay. So I'm going to try to really sort of emphasize now, why I'm saying the things that I'm saying on Bitcoin. Okay. If we, if we just kind of zoom out a little bit on the daily, okay, you can see where Bitcoin came from. It's very easy to say, oh man, I wish I was in at these prices and all of this stuff. Just put all of that to one side and let's just look at the chart, right? Really look at the chart. Price was down here. And during this entire phase, there's been a lot of accumulation, okay? People were buying. Some people were like, what's Bitcoin? I'll grab a few. And when price was down here, people had absolutely no idea, what the hell Bitcoin was really. It was just sort of a novelty. Let's just grab some for the sake of grabbing some, and it's very rare that you're going to find an individual on the planet, that will say to you, I could see that Bitcoin was going to be the future, blah, 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 and that's why I bought a shit ton of, Bitcoin down here. Almost everybody just jumped into it because it was the next thing to jump into, you know what I mean? And anybody that tells you that they knew this was going to happen and price was going to come all the way up here, I'm sorry to say it this way, is completely full of shit. Honestly, it's such a small percentage. We're talking a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percentage of people who jumped into Bitcoin while it was here because it's going to be a game changer, for example. Most people just jumped into it, like I said, because it was a novelty. So there's a lot of accumulation going on down here, but think about what type of accumulation that is. It's not accumulation based on any reasonable investment strategy. Okay, it's just, oh, that's cool. What's Bitcoin? Let me just grab some Bitcoin, right? So because of that type of Bitcoin, because of that type of accumulation, we have to understand it's not being accumulated in a way that is going to contribute to a big money jumping in. Price is going to start to move. They're looking to accumulate large amounts of Bitcoin so they can offload those for a profit and blah blah blah. That's not the type of accumulation that happened here. Yeah, that type of accumulation where big players stepped into the market happened way after that. Yeah. So as price starts to grind up and grind up and grind up, we get that first initial drop here when it hit 20,000. Now on this chart, it just looks like a blip now. But at the time, when Bitcoin was in the news and Bitcoin started to kind of hit the news, and a lot of things were happening, and it started to come to the forefront. This at the time when it happened seemed pretty dramatic. Yeah, this drop, right? So all of this accumulation that's happening down here, big money starts to step in just here, right? And we know big money starts to step in just here because for two reasons. Number one, we've had a nice slow breakout. We've had price being held, okay, around the sort of 12,000-ish to around about 15,000 price level. Then we had another sort of pop to the upside, and this is the giveaway, okay? Right, this candle right there is the giveaway, where price accelerates and they drop it all the way back to rebalance, okay, and accumulate more into this liquidity pool here off this primary liquidity pool. This the second pickup. Again, I'm sorry that it's the only way I can explain it, okay? I know how to teach this stuff, but I can't do it in a 10-15 minute video, right? And to be honest, I wouldn't anyway, okay? Because people have to pay for it, whether it's monetarily or whether it's with their time or their effort. Because I've helped so many people over the years that have just abused my time and abused my generosity, So I'm very careful about how I present this information because I want people to give a shit. Basically, that's what I'm getting at, right? And to appreciate the time and the mind-numbing process that I've gone through to get to this point. So anyway, this is the dead giveaway right here because price drops, rebalance, and starts to accumulate. This, okay, trust me when I tell you, from 15,000 down to here, cannot happen unless big money is moving the market. Okay, this is one of those golden moments. Take note of what I'm saying. This cannot happen unless big money is moving price. Yeah. Retail traders can't do this, guys. People just picking up a few Bitcoin here and there, or putting a couple of $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 into Bitcoin ain't doing this. It's not happening. Yeah, this is big money. Then it starts to get a little bit sort of consolidate. It starts to consolidate a little bit. Then it pops again, and then start to pay attention to what's happening. You see that the trend is forming. The momentum is going to the upside. And we get this nice progressive move up. It comes down, grabs some more, then it starts to accelerate a little bit, and then they slow it down. They slow it down. Okay, and then as it gets close to 20,000, okay, we get this nice drop. That's them taking profit. Yeah, these people are not looking at Bitcoin, or at least they weren't looking at Bitcoin at the time and saying, "Wow, Bitcoin, this is going to be a game changer. It's a store of value." Blah blah blah. They didn't give a shit. They're just, how can we cause maximum pain and take everybody's money? That's it. By doing stuff like this. Because at this moment, as Bitcoin's starting to accelerate, it's looking good. People are getting excited. This is going to the moon, blah, blah, blah. The euphoria starts to kick in, and then bang, this happens. Okay? And then when that happens, people are like, whoa, shit, man. Like, Bitcoin's insane. But there are people that are thinking, you know what? This makes sense. Good price. We've come from all the way down here to all the way up here. And this is just a healthy pullback. It's a correction. It needs to happen. Blah, blah, blah. So we start to get a nice grind up. Okay. Starts to get towards that 20,000. Okay, and this is again an accumulation phase, but look at the volatility here relative to the volatility down here. Now we're starting to see volumes. Now we're starting to see retail traders, hit the market. Now think about this. Isn't this interesting? That now we're starting to get a lot more volatility. Yeah, doesn't it make more sense, right? That this is heavily manipulated in the sense that, there's a lot more market participation. We've had this drop and a reversal. Okay, so think about if you controlled price, yeah. Wouldn't this be a great way to get everybody to come into the marketplace by dropping it there, okay, exploding it back up, getting back above this high, and then grinding it sideways so people think, you know what, we're close to 20,000. What's everybody going to start thinking, guys? Yeah, it's going to break out. 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 20,000, 20,000. It's hit it a few times. There's resistance there, blah, blah, blah. But when it breaks out, it's going to explode. Yeah. So, boom. We get that nice explosion. All right. Starts to get really wacky. Starts to get really nutty. And then we get that first pretty aggressive drop all the way back down to 30,000. All right. So you've got a lot of market, a lot of market participation. Again, it's the same thing happening. Grinds up, accumulation here, explodes to the upside, hits all-time highs, and then it's at this stage here. What were we hearing in the news? Price is going to keep going. This is going to go to 100,000. Blah 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 blah. We've heard some insane numbers. I even heard one person telling me this was going to go to 1 billion. I'm like, dude, go and take a pill. Yeah, seriously, go and see a doctor and get some pills for the shit that you're talking, because this is not going to 1 billion. Yeah, so the insanity has started at this stage. Yeah, where you have pretty much every lunatic on YouTube saying Bitcoin is going to go, Bitcoin's going to explode, Bitcoin. Yeah, and people they're just not paying attention. People just are not paying attention. You don't have to be able to read price to know about that. Almost 95% of the stuff that is out there on Bitcoin is total horseshit. We had a guy, and I believe it was Alex, who posted a video of, I can't remember his name. He's a Bitcoin advocate. He's got a lot of money in Bitcoin. It's not Michael Saylor. It's the other guy with the glasses, the lunatic who screams and shouts all the time. And he was saying this and that, Bitcoin, and he's ripping up like a $50 bill or $100 bill, whatever he's ripping up, and screaming about fiat currency and going on about Bitcoin. Well, 2 weeks ago, you were saying that Bitcoin on the 4th of June was going to hit all-time highs, and Bitcoin's currently at like 21,000 or whatever. No, not 21,000. Sorry, 35,000. Yeah, it's nowhere near all-time highs. But people forget that. People forget that. They're more interested in the euphoria, the excitement, the this, the that, the other. You've got to be able to pull yourself away from that and actually look what's going on the charts. So we're going through the madness stage. Okay, and it's while all of this is happening now, there's a massive influx of news. People going on about Bitcoin. You've got the addition of Clubhouse now. Everybody on there's talking about Bitcoin. And you have Michael Saylor, he's out there talking about Bitcoin. And isn't it interesting that while all of this is going on, all of a sudden in your YouTube feed, you start to see things like Warren Buffett talking about Bitcoin, the other guy that his partner talking about Bitcoin and how shit it is and all this sort of stuff. Why? The algorithm on YouTube is very specific. Okay, it knows exactly what it's doing, and it picks up all of this stuff and it starts to spit it out because they're creating this euphoria for Bitcoin. Okay, and while all of this is going on, and just about every single news outlet is talking about Bitcoin, you've got 1 or 2, maybe 3 people around the world who are saying, "Look, chill out, relax, just Bitcoin's going to tank. Just chill. Bitcoin's going to tank. Take your time. Yeah, it's fine. If you want to buy some, just wait for it to crash first." No. It's not going to crash. It's going to this. It's going to that. And then we get that just drop. Okay. And everyone's like, what the I'm not going to swear, but everyone's like, shit, man, what's going on? And we are currently obviously where we are now. We had that drop here. Then we get the second drop here. Then it starts to grind back up. Now, when this happens, okay, when this first initial drop happened here, and then it recovers, everybody starts to get excited again. So that next round of euphoria kicks in, okay? And when that next round of euphoria kicks in, again, everybody starts to panic. Everybody starts to get excited. Everybody's throwing their money into Bitcoin. If you track the downloads of apps, wealth apps, Binance, the volumes on Binance, the usage on all of these apps and so on, you start to track some of these things, you'll notice that there was a huge influx of people downloading and buying into cryptocurrency, mainly Bitcoin, okay? Because the euphoria, the excitement, the priming, the propaganda, everything, it's all just being thrown at you all at the same time, okay? And it's a very well-oiled machine when it's doing this, right? And the excitement kicks in and boom, everyone's like, yes! And then everybody piles in, yeah? More people, let's get more people into Bitcoin. Nothing more than a transfer of wealth. That's what happened, yeah, recently when we had that sell-off. So while everybody's piling in, the smart money is doing what? They're looking for an opportunity to sell to these people that want to buy because they are in somewhere down here, right? And they're going to be offloading up here to some, unsuspecting person. So it's going and it's going and it's going. And it starts to go on its move up and everyone's, again, excited. This is the one. We're in a bull run, blah, blah, blah. I've heard everything from we're in the middle of a bull run to the start of a bull run to, a quarter into a bull run to a third into a bull run. And while everybody's talking about all of this stuff, I was saying, Bitcoin's going to crash. I said to my brother, it's going to crash. Yeah, is just a Greek term, but I said to him, it's going to crash. I was saying to my friends, Bitcoin's going to crash. I said to my wife, I said, people have gone nuts. My brother-in-law said to me, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. I said, just wait, it's going to crash. No, it's not. I said, it's going to crash. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. Why? Because everybody's buying, everybody's talking about it, everybody's pumping it up, everybody's saying it's bullish, 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 bullish. Okay? Yeah. While everybody's going on and saying it's bullish, 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 I'm looking for an opportunity to sell Bitcoin. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I want to be looking for a spot to accumulate for my long-term hold on Bitcoin at much, much lower prices, right? And then, obviously, we start to get this, pulls back nicely, people are doing what? This is a great time to buy. I heard all of this, guys. I was on Clubhouse listening to this madness that was going on, some of the places over there. I was listening to people, gathering information. I'm paying attention to what's going on Twitter. I'm paying attention to what's going on in the news. As it pulled back here, yeah, everybody was everybody was promoting the idea that this is a fantastic buy. It's at a discount. Buy, 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 buy. And then it goes up. Now we're getting this. Just keep buying. It doesn't matter what price. I even heard one guy saying something like, what was it? You will buy Bitcoin at the price you deserve. Yeah. And I was like, wow, okay, that's a bit zen, and everybody's piling in. They're being told it's great. I've told you guys, the guy that I know, he sold his house and piled his money into Bitcoin because he got caught up in all of that euphoria and that excitement, okay? And it's all by design. It is, guys, yeah? And the one thing that you cannot hide is liquidity. I keep saying this over and over again, and the people that are part of my understanding and the people that I help and I talk to on a daily basis, they get this, yeah? And they didn't always get this. We've had to go through this process, just like I had to go through this process, painstakingly going through this process. You cannot hide liquidity. You just can't. So no matter what's going off around you, all of this chaos and this nonsense, you don't need to understand all of that. All you need to understand is you cannot hide liquidity. So while all of this is going on, I'm tracking price. I'm paying attention to the accumulation points. I'm paying attention to the distribution cycles. I'm paying attention to all of this, from the daily to the 4 hour to the hourly. I'm looking for all of the confirmation, so on and so on and so on. Okay, and obviously we get that. I believe it was, it's at this point. So we had a high here at 62,000, and again, people are being told discount. It's at a discount. Anywhere between 50 and this and that, it's at a discount. It's at a discount. And almost gets to all-time highs. So you get that, that third or fourth influx of people buying Bitcoin again. Yeah. because they believe now it's going to 77,000. I don't know why that number just kept coming up, but it was 77,000. And again, when you see a repeating pattern over and over and over again, it's by design. It's by design. That's it. There's no other way to explain it. It is by design. It's deliberately by design to take your money. That's it. There are more people that lose money on Bitcoin. Think about the logic, right? You're being told to buy and hold this forever. Yeah, don't sell it. Don't ever sell it. You have your spot in cyberspace. Keep your Bitcoin. Never sell it. Yeah, and yet there's more people that have lost money on Bitcoin, than probably any other cryptocurrency, that there is. Yeah, because they don't understand. Number one, they're being manipulated, and number two, with all of that stuff going on, instead of paying attention, they're allowing their emotions to get the best of them. So even with people saying buy and hold, they still won't do it because they're paying attention to all of this shit that's going on. Yeah, and they're getting excited, so they pile in, expecting all-time highs. We're going to get that next run up, and you saw it, guys. Come on, man. How many people have seen this stuff like this? Honestly, I don't mean any disrespect to anybody that uses trend lines or any of that stuff. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying, because I know trend lines have their place. But do you know how many times I've seen stuff like this? And all of these widgets and triangles and God knows what people put on their charts. So while all of this is going on, let me just extend these. I know we're getting close to it. That's why I don't want to put it, sort of near there. But and they're saying, yeah, well, now we're going to come to the upper trend line, and they all worked it out, 77,000, 80,000, 85,000, whatever it is. So while all of this shit's going on, we finally get another all-time high. So this video is becoming quite long. Finally get another all-time high. Okay, then we get that sell-off. Everybody's expecting it, right? Yeah, it's just broke all-time highs. Now it's pulling back. It's a discount. Buy. The usual, right? Go through any outlet, Twitter, Clubhouse, Facebook, so on, YouTube. Yeah. Pretty much every thumbnail that you see is Bitcoin's going to explode. Bitcoin's going to explode. And while Bitcoin's exploding, quotations, it's dropping like a tank and destroying everybody. Yeah. So again, the euphoria kicks in. It's a discount. It's at a discount. It's at a discount. Starts to go back up again. More excitement. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, do you know what? Unless it gets through this level, it's just broke, sort of all-time highs. It's just dropped. It's had an order flow shift here. It's just shifted flow again here. It's taken the liquidity here. We've had a market structure, complete breakdown of market structure altogether now. Yeah, the chart looks completely different at this stage. It's gonna crash. Yeah, this is gonna drop like a tank and take people's money. Goes back up. You have a shift, going right back up to an imbalance. These trend lines are irrelevant now, but it's going right back up to an imbalance just here. Okay, and I made a reference to these upper levels. Boom, boom, and then drop, tank. And now we're currently sitting where we're sitting now. So let me just get rid of these. Okay, so with all of this going on now, okay, price can rally. Yep, sure. Price can come into these areas up here. It's very unlikely now at this point. But the reality is the closest liquidity pool based on all of the accumulation, distribution, more accumulation, distribution, dealing off, more accumulation, distribution, accumulation, distribution, accumulation, distribution, drop, more distribution, more accumulation, distribution, shift in flow completely here, and then tank. That candle right there, it's like, right, my eye goes straight to this. Straight away, because I've tracked it all the way up to this point. So when it happened, I was like, this is where we're going. Yeah, I said a few things, but what did I say at this point? What was I saying, guys? If you go back in the videos, I can't change what I was saying. I was saying price comes up, it needs to get through these levels, blah, 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 blah. But it's likely now that we are going to go down to this low and dip into this liquidity here. Obviously, we don't know that it's going to accelerate as fast as it did. But I mean, can I be any more clearer? You don't have to trust what I'm saying. Just because I'm saying it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's not what I'm saying. But when I say the things that I say, go and study it. Have a look. Pay attention. Look at some of the things that I'm saying, and just kind of track price yourself. Just sometimes just going like this with the mouse, you kind of get a feel for what price is actually doing. You know what I mean? You can feel the shift. It's shifted here. You know, it's just shifted. You know, and we ended up down here, and a lot of people got burnt, unfortunately. So for me, a couple of scenarios. We can run higher, take out the liquidity here, rebalance a little bit, and just tap into this liquidity pool for some more sell liquidity, and then reverse and start to run lower. That would give me more confirmation, but I do believe this is where we're going. You know, between 30 and 28,000, and we are it's looking extremely likely that we're going to take out these lows. And if it does that, obviously there's a couple of areas over here where the liquidity is resting, but that will be all for accumulation points over here, and then distributions, as it's dealing off that liquidity that it's effectively shifted up here. So I hope this video helps, guys. I mean, I wanted to kind of just break a few things down and just give you guys some ideas on the, I don't want to say paranoid nature, but the paranoid contrarian mind that I have. Yeah, when people are all running like lemmings, to the end, to the edge of the cliff, I'm running in the opposite direction. That's just the way that I am, because the more people that do the same thing, yeah, the more likely it is that you're you're in a bubble and you don't realize. Yeah. So again, I really hope the video helps, guys. I am working on the website very, very hard. Once that's ready, there's a lot of content going on there, obviously. So I will let you guys know when that's ready at some point. There's going to be a lot of information on there, a lot to learn. And I will tell you guys about that, as and when it's sort of developing and unfolding. And in the meantime, obviously, I do my best to post as much content as I can. I am in the Discord chat over at Swissborg, generally in the Wealth and Trading channel. So please, hop over. There's a lot of, experienced people in there, a lot of friendly people, great community we've got, to kind of talk about all of these things. And yeah. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I have no idea how long the video ended up being, but I think it's going to be well received. So take care, and I will speak to you guys very soon.